Hello everyone, it's me again in my garden. I actually felt like coming in live today, and hopefully the wind is not too crazy because storm is coming. But I just really wanted to ground, and what best to ground with you. I wanted to share about the event I went yesterday, and the event yesterday was it was for me a networking event, but also a gig, and also beautiful conversation around matrescence. If you ever heard of this word, matrescence is the conjunction of maternity and adolescence, and it's all about to do with what it takes to mother becoming. So it's not like preparing for the birth, but it's what's happening after. And that was very interesting when the speaker, Amy, shared that how some part of us, we lose our identity. And I was like, oh yeah, well, like most people were like this in the room. And when we are giving birth, like when we go to healthcare professionals or other places, and they don't even bother looking for your name and actually just reading it on the paper, they call you mom. So it just kind of completely obliterate that you're not just a mom. And that was very interesting, but it also was all about the kind of the internalized conditioning that we I probably, like, it looks like from that conversation there's a lot of women that have been feeling that, of the being 100% a mom, but also having 100% ambition and pushing through in both fronts, and being a mom not feeling it's enough, which I definitely can relate to that. It's very interesting because like I can relate, because that really this came to me probably last year. I was saying I need more, but at all the same time now done some like coming back to consciousness and shadow work and all of the path I'm personally have taken on. It's interesting to really dive into like listening to that and realizing that definitely there is part of that really were part of my journey. There is other part that was part of my journey and they no longer is. Taking time for myself is the most important to me, and not in a selfish way. It's actually important for me to nourish myself so I can actually show better to my kids, and I can actually be a better teacher, guide to my kids. And that was quite interesting in the conversation around the matrescence, what happened. And like the gig was really very lovely as well, and with Claire, and like she was sharing a lot of like subjects that most women will definitely relate to. And there is one thing to me that really kind of stood out to me is from what was shared, it was like how much women don't allow themselves space and allow themselves quietness. Sorry for the background noise. Come on, plane. And I shouldn't say sorry, and I shouldn't say shouldn't. Anyway, I can't even see it. There's so much clouds, I can't see. If you passed, you can hear it go, we went, but I can't see it. And so yeah, it's the idea of how many women will take time for, like, it's very hard for taking time for themselves, but it's also very hard to it feels like if you do take the time for yourself, you do have to feel guilty about it. And that really reminded me of the retreat I'm hosting in October called Tribe. And the retreat is all about peace, quietness. It's like basically stillness, space, and sisterhood. That's the real theme. For me, it's really kind of recreating the soothing netting of community, also netting of other women, and being able to share our life's experiences. And some of the people that are attending are a bit like they're wiser in this on the timeline scale, and it's interesting to even talk to women that also have grandchildren. It's actually quite interesting to even see it through this lens, and really reminded me that like it's one of the reasons I really wanted to create and host the Tribe Retreat. It's really to allow women the space, because so many women will see it as some ways through conditioning an act of weakness, an act of non-deserving, an act of not being a good mom, because you are switching off from being a mom for a while, and that's not something we've probably most of us have experienced or witnessed growing up. And yeah, that really reminded me, like it feels like the matrescence comes of that. Like most of my clients will be moms, and not all of them, but some of them are actually doing the preparation to become a mother. And I feel like the mother becoming, I wish I was more aware of the mother becoming before I got pregnant. So I admired all the women that already have spiritual awakening, that are in their journey of spiritual awakening, even in the beginning, because that will really help them to grow and allow space. Hi. And that really helps. It really helps around that. However, you don't need to be going through wanting to have kids anyway. And yeah, the Tribe Retreat is going to be such a beautiful, heart-opening, beautiful conversation, lovely food, and a space for ourselves, for us to make a lot of noise, because it's literally on a lake. There's no people around us, so we can be as loud as we want, we can be as quiet as we want, and we can enjoy just the view and the sunset if we just want that. On the Tribe Retreat, we're going to be integrating sound healing. We're going to integrate as well somatic practices. I have some ideas of what like I said, if you go on the link of the retreat, you will definitely be able to like browse and see what feels right. I have many different modalities that I personally use and I personally love using with my clients, and I really do most of my things very intuitively. So I might say that we're going to do a sound healing, a sound bath, and I might end up on the retreat feeling the energy that are very different and decide to do something else, or maybe having the slot for the sound healing and moving it to another slot. And it's been for me as well being a new journey, because I have been so conditioned in school, in the work life, in corporate work, in society, let's put it this way, that I'm kind of I was being more carefree. It's probably this way, I'll probably use this word. And most people would be like, oh, but you need to plan, you need to do this. And every time I planned, it was a lot of energy out of me. I did not enjoy the whole experience because I was too focused on making it perfect as well, and expecting setting myself massive goals that were for that time being were kind of not meant to be achieved at that time, and so much attachment. And in the world that I'm and the conditioning I've been really going deep into, I first of all, I do things because I want it, because I desire them, and also I am all about flow. I will create masculine structure because it's definitely necessary. Have a time and a date, at least having some idea of what I'd love to integrate in it, have a thought and some channeling. I always connect with my guides when I create something, and really diving into what feels right on the time. And I used to feel as I wanted to change things because I came into a room and I was like, oh, I said I would do that, so I'm going to do it, even though inside of me my whole soul was roaring. Not the soul, but like I could hear a very big roar. I was like, don't do this, do something. Don't, like, it's not don't do this. I heard mostly it's just like, do what? This, like, kind of like, forget about that, do this. And I was like, yeah, but I said I would do this, so, you know. And instead of like really owning, like really leaning into my own leadership, my own sovereignty as well, and coming into saying, I came with this idea in mind, and tuning into this energy, I feel this would be best. And you can always say, ask the people, saying what it would look best. And say, funnily enough, most people will go for what you suggest at the time, because they can feel it. It's like it's a full body feeling. So yeah, it's a lot of talking about so many different subjects today, but felt interesting to share. I said that, yeah, I did share about the tribe retreat, and I did not come live to talk about the live retreat. That was not the tribe retreat. That was not the intention of the live. The live was just coming live. This was the intention. But yeah, I would love to invite you to explore the tribe retreat, because she came along, said I wanted to share today. I really want to create things very simply, but not. I feel like there is a lot of bad rep around simplicity in so many, like, it actually is starting to be reshaped and change the meaning. But for, like, the meaning have never really changed, but like the society kind of makes of it, and the paradigm, the realm, whatever you want to use it, the word you want to use. And yeah, it is interesting to go through reclaiming words. If you know me personally, you know I'm very picky in my words, and if you know me personally, you will probably have heard me saying those kind of words. If you know me personally, it's a lot of words. And the thing is, I'm always really looking at the deep meaning and the etymology, where it's coming from and what it means, and reshaping the words that I'm using, because first of all, that's very fun to me, and also that feels some words resonates way more than others to me this way. I don't use manifest, and I would definitely invite you to one of my my podcast episode that ours podcast. It's launching in September 15th, and with Celia from Self-Express Babe. We've been secretly recording podcasts for you, and we're actually going to talk about manifesting. And in one of the episodes, I don't know which one yet, but it's going to be interesting, because we are really leaning into a definitely different direction than most of the coaching realm industry, or even the spiritual industry, or the realm. And yeah, actually like coming live with you in Agenda, and it's actually so fun to me to come here and share with you. There is still a part of me kind of racing. It's like that. It's a very, very small voice now. It's very things like, what are you doing? You kind of like, you're going to lose the train of your thought, and you're going to be jumping from Charlie to Jake, and then come back to Charlie, and then maybe add Alana into the mix. And I used to be feeling so bad when I was jumping from subject and coming back to the subject, and go to another one and coming back to another one. And now, like, it's my brain is working like this, and I'm honoring her more than honoring someone that could be offended or shocked or whatever of the way I am. And it's a reclamation. It's definitely a reclamation. I really needed a lot of rebirth to go through that. I've been in business for 9 years at the end of August, and I remember I was a photographer. My dad is a photographer, and even though I'm going to send myself flowers. I can buy myself flowers. I could photograph people and create the most amazing photographs of them. I was so feeling uncomfortable being photos, being on videos, networking my business, not like online, I mean. In person, I never really had a challenge with that. But online, because there was like no one wants to listen to you, and I had like all of those very, very nasty words in my mind that really prevented me to come live. I would never come like that today, with like sitting on the grass, having my headset on, my like just something like my hair up, like, you know, I would have been like, okay, I need a setting, I need this, I need that, I need that, I need the light, I need this and that. And even though I do like that type of setup sometimes it actually, for me personally, takes off my authenticity, because when I really want to do, like when I feel the connection with my channels and I'm feeling like, oh, I really want to try that, I really want to try it. And I used to, the way my camera is set right now, the phone where it's set, I would never have put it this way because the angle is not good. I can't see, like, you know, at the time, like, you don't look at my chin, blah blah blah. But no, it's not anymore. I really want to come live. I come live the lightest setting, so you're probably going to see me darker. I come with no agenda, and I love that. I love talking about everything that comes in my mind. And hello for everyone who's joining. And yeah, it's just something that I really enjoy doing, but it's been a process. It's not something that happened yesterday. It's been a process, like 9 years in the making, to be coming live with no settings, with no idea, no written notes or anything like that. I definitely needed those notes, and if I was like, or even, it's not even notes, I needed to have everything written down to a T. And I remember one of the first coming on stage to an event and like having like 20 minutes to talk, and I was like, I prepared to the T, and at some point I stumbled to my word and I got struck, like very struck by, I felt like I got struck by lightning. I was like, I don't know what, you know, because where was I? Oh my god. Instead of like going to like, yeah, take a breath, smile, come back to yourself, look around the room, look over, like I did have slides, so I could have checked my slides, but I really kind of stopped. Like I had so much blinders, I was like, oh my god, what people would tell me because I have stumbled to my words, blah blah blah. And I'm like, I'm sorry, my words, I use like a lot, I use a lot, even though I'm like working on to having a better pace on my words, but like it will take time. And coming live with no agenda, but I used to have very big points, and if I lose one, if I like, I had points, and if I was speaking, like I was like 1 2 3 4 5, and it went like 1 2 3 5. That was the end of the world. My whole body was like crushing. And now I'm like, yeah, you know what? I see it. I could go on stage in front of 1,000 of people with no agenda, and I know I will have something to say. Because you just come into the room, connect with the people, feel and sense them, and then you create around that. And it reminds me of one of my mentors very early on, and she was a very big prepper, but like she created, like she usually have always a keynote and everything. And I remember her on the event, she said, I actually created something, and at 3 a.m. this morning I woke up and I was like, scratch that, I need to do something else, this is what needs to be done. And she recreated an entire new speaking engagement that was over an hour and a half of speaking, all from like, she said, I don't feel like it's what I need to talk about today. And I was like, oh my god. She did have like slides and everything, but like I don't like slides anymore. It's too much work, it's not simple to me, at least for now. I might go back to it. And yeah, I just want to share that. And yeah, I just really wanted to like lovingly invite you to explore all the roundness of your own being, and also all the little maybe sharp moments, like sharp and resistance within yourself. But having resistance is also calling for you to explore deeper. And sometimes there is a lot of things that you can do on your own, but there is one thing that is undeniable: sisterhood and the community. The village is one of the biggest things that you can build, and you can also go into events and workshop leaning into that to go through your growth. It's the most unbelievable support system you're going to give. So many of my best friends are people that I met at a retreat, and it's been nearly 5 years, and we are still very close. Some of them grew up to be even more closer than I could even imagine, and most a big part of us actually went to an unison consecration. It's a divorce party, but it's spiritually and the strength you have in a circle with other women is divine, really divine. So I really invite you to explore women's circles. I have one running in the end of July. If you want to come, you're more than welcome to join. Also joining retreats. You don't have to join mine, but you're more than welcome to explore. And any type of ways for you to grow your netting, but also grow your spiritual growth in terms of consciousness. I don't feel like it's just spirituality in a say. I don't use the word spirituality most often. You probably see that on my social anyway. And it's not about spirituality. It's about a state of consciousness that is within yourself, and the only way for you to explore it is going within. You're going to your heart space, going to your, even sometimes the throat as well, because there's things there, so many points of your body, and also your auric field. Yeah, there is so many. My apologies. I had orange juice, and this definitely makes me burp. And yeah, explore what your body wants you to explore, because your body is usually the closest to your soul. At least is what I've been experiencing. When I say that, it's your body also holds the most trauma. It's where is the trauma held. The body is holding the trauma, but there is a deep, still a big remembrance within your bones, within your DNA, within your cells. That's just that little tiny voice that is within yourself, but also could be just a sudden wanting to move within your body. Just listen to that little voice. I was going to say this petite voice. The French came back to me. And yeah, explore yourself with non-judgment. Allow it all. And sometimes it's important to do it on your own, by yourself, because that's what feels safest for you at the time. And when you're feeling a little bit more not build up, but remembering how much courageous you actually are and powerful you actually are, go in circles and share the hard things, and being held within the hard things, being witnessed, being listened to within the hard things, and it could be the joyous things as well, and being comfortable sharing things, and also being comfortable with the silence, space, silence, sisterhood, spaciousness, stillness, everything, all the S's. And it's a beautiful path that we are on as humans, one of the most beautiful, I feel like. Compared to, we have so much access to consciousness, which is divine. And I can see in the world that so many of us are reconnecting to nature, are reconnecting to the roots of what it is to be human, and kind of softly questioning everything around us, accepting some of it, questioning and saying yeah, I questioned that, and at the same time I still choose what I used to believe. There is nothing wrong about that. It doesn't mean when you're questioning, doesn't mean you have to. I'm questioning it, so I decided it's a full no. It could be I'm questioning it, and then through my researches, through everything that I went through, what I believed feels right, and it is right for you. It's your truth for now. Our truth always evolve, and it's the most updated version of our truth that we share. And the next day, there could be another one. We never know. We're human. We're changing, and we get more access to consciousness. We get more access to new knowledge, new capabilities that we have within ourselves. Maybe some psychic abilities, some healing abilities as well. Really, really reconnecting, and reknitting, and rewilding. I don't know how you say that. Ourselves, but also being grateful for where we are, because we have so much space to be able to allow to get that for ourselves. So yeah, I just want to share all of that today with you. I just want to send you so much love, and I'm looking forward to share it with you another time. I think I'm going to make that as a podcast now. Put it on my podcast afterwards, not the one I have with Celia, but my own. And yeah, let's go. It's getting very dark, and the wind of the storm is coming, so I'm going to get I'm going to cover myself, just not to get too drenched out. Bye guys, have a great evening.